I'm doing it for my daughter.
They just destroy them all.
I mean, they say they hide them. Is that you actually do believe that? Because I do honestly do believe that human beings were. I think the reason why they use a lot of the numerology 33, you know, it talks about the 30 of the angels cast out of heaven onto earth. I think God is real 100%, and I do believe that there is some sort of probably some sort of spiritual being that had sex with humans and we're the offspring of Nephilim.
Do you believe in Jesus, Stein?
I do. I was baptized. You know, I was actually baptized.
Do you believe Jesus was real?
Well, see, this is the thing is they talk about how there's all these other parallel stories to Jesus, but then I feel like every other religious text basically certifies his existence. So I'm of the opinion that Jesus was 100% real. Now the debate is, was he resurrected?
Do you believe it was the Son of God?
Was he the Son of God? I mean, that's how I was raised. I kind of believe that. Yeah. I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
You got to pick. You got to pick. What do you actually believe, Stein?
I was baptized, and so
I don't care about the baptizing. If you had to pick, what's it gonna be? Just yes or no?
I would say that Jesus is real and that he's the Son of God and that he was resurrected is what I would if I had to bet, if I had to gamble.
Okay.
And that's the gamble that I'm taking, is that I'm betting on Jesus.
Safe
and I hope
bet.
Now that's good gambling.
Yeah, that we support.
No, that's a bet that Dave Portnoy's not willing to make.
No.
This answers my prayers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Big God.
I found this today.
It's Chris.
And it glimmered at me like it was from a role-playing game. Like it was from Resident Evil.
So you had to pick it up.
Yeah. And then I heard the voices of 1,000 Africans jumping and chanting at the same time. They were going, "Oh, yeah, yo! Circumcise the wee man." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I walked outside and there was an African circle of men jumping. They were doing the fertility jumping. Like this.
Yeah.
And they were going, "Oh, yeah, yo! Circumcise the wee man." You know?
Yeah. It's festive. Festive.
Yeah. And then they all dapped me up, and they thanked me for digging wells in their town.
Like Mr. Beast.
Like Mr. Beast. Well, woo!
How deeply do you believe in God?
I'm a very faithful person.
What did Jung call it? Synchronicity? Have you ever had any weird stuff like that?
No, I never had a deep religious experience, honestly. A lot of people, you know, they come to religion because they hear the voice of God or something, but nothing like that ever happened to me. For me, I always just had a disposition towards a belief in God. I think that we're created with a purpose, with a direction. I think that the world is imbued with meaning. It's intelligent. And to me, the biggest thing I've been on lately is, first and foremost, is I believe that we have souls. I think that's obvious. And I think that we have two natures. And when you consider that a human being, the human mind, is unlike anything else in the universe, you know, the brain is more complex than anything that exists ever, period. You realize that we're fundamentally distinct from nature. And so it's like we have a body that is very similar to nature because it dies and it's made of carbon and things like, you know, it's made of atoms. But we have will and intentionality and consciousness and mind, which are unlike anything else. And so to me, that proves you have a body, you have the flesh, but you also have the spirit and the soul. And once you kind of think about the natural and the supernatural, it's like that's where you kind of get cooking and say, okay, there is obviously a God.
Yesterday on my truck, a white dove landed on it, this big, a pigeon, the one from Ace Ventura. Literally the one from Ace Ventura. I walked out to it, I filmed it, and it came down, it stayed there all day. It's fucking bananas. I think it might have been an angel. That's crazy. That I got too drunk and then a dove showed up. And that means angels.
Damn.
Hi, I'm your friend. I'm a fucking
No.
I think it was Jesus Christ inside that dove. I got a video of him walking right up to, like, I'm like camera to the fucking laptop to the dove.
Man.
I think it was God.
Can you send that to Joey? We'll put that in the cut.
It was the Jesus Christ cut. So, and if you hear about me having beers in 3 weeks, just know that. Don't get mad at me. When you hear the story about how I got drunk on Thanksgiving and took my pants off because it was hot inside the house, don't get mad at me. No.
It's crazy.
Have you ever? But I swear to God, I would believe that
I mean, I've definitely had stuff, weird synchronicity stuff happen.
I want
more.
I want you to see a dove, or it wouldn't be a dove. What's the fucking? It's a rare albino, the Ace Ventura bird.
Yeah.
You just cost me $25,000, Polly.
Sic transit gloria. Thus fades the glory, Monday of the world. Jim Carrey. Can't win them all. Anyway,
on
that note.
Sure, this was before I was like a real believer, but it brought me closer was, Sam Harris? Mm-hmm. I was watching a video of Sam Harris talking. Of course, he wouldn't allow for the possibility of God being real. Like, he wouldn't even allow for the possibility of it to be real, even if there were evidence that were shown to him. If he had seen evidence, what he would allow for the possibility of is that we live in a simulation with a God that's programmed into it. Yeah. Learning not a person that's questioning or a person that's trying to figure stuff out, but what real atheists are. Part of what they're doing is they're revolting against hierarchy because they know that they are so ugly inside and that they belong at the bottom of the hierarchy and there's no way up for them. And so part of what they wanted, and this is a lot of like political and cultural labels that people apply to themselves. A lot of it is about just finding the shortest route to reversing the hierarchy so that they, in their shittiness, can be on top. I don't think that's what Sam Harris is about. If I had to guess, I would believe that Sam Harris believes in demons and probably worships them.
Let's recap here, okay? So atheism is real, and because thinking that anything created anything is silly. It's just boneheaded, okay? I can show you with a series of logical deductions how evolution theoretically works, and therefore going backwards, if you extrapolate backwards, you get nothing. And you get the Big Bang, which was a moment of, we don't know yet, but it's definitely not anything divine. However, at the same time, Eastern religious stuff is totally valid and believable and works. Okay, so yoga, so what I do is I go to Reddit/atheism and I read, yes, this is correct, and then I do, and then I see the Star-Spangled Banner in outer space and all kinds of little gooby goblins, and then in the same breath that I say that God isn't real, I say, but there's another dimension, as if what does that mean? That means something? That means something in terms of a comic book. Yeah, I can imagine a reality that's not reality, but what would that look like here? Oh, it's a dimension. So it's like is it over there? No. It's like, you have to really do drugs to understand it, man. But Eastern religious practices and beliefs are totally worthy of veneration, and why not practice them? Because it's all the same thing. We're all star stuff anyway, and we're all just praying to gooby goblins in outer space. So hold on, before we start streaming, I have to go do my see, it's so elegant.
It's not rocket science, okay? The gulf between the first 95% of figuring out what reality is and that last 4.5%, and then the last 0.5% is like beyond the scope of my comprehension. I know the thought process of a 130 IQ atheist thinking, I understand the universe. It's all atoms and bits, and all information can be encoded in megabits. That's not it. It's something extremely way more grand and mystifying than that, man.
I think it's also a fatal conceit to believe that just because you can understand 90% of something, that it's within your grasp to understand 100% of something. But hold on, let me keep ranting for just 1 second. So the people, when you get into science, baby's first math, and they even do this at the highest level. This is what I believe any professor, any scientist, any mathematician who says he's an atheist, this is probably why they are the way that they are, is because they have grasped so much and contemplated so much of the nature of reality, and they've gotten so far. They've gotten like 90% of the way there. They're driving down the road with lane keep assist, but oops, there's a pedestrian there. They can't identify it. Okay, they're 90 or 95% of the way there. They think that they can get that last 5% and make it all make sense without admitting that there's or even allowing for the possibility that there are things beyond our understanding about why things are the way that they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be able to say in completion, or an absolution, which they wouldn't be able to say. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying none of these people can go, I understand everything, and be truthful about it, because they don't.
Right. It's not like something. There's a beginning, a middle, and a hard end, where they're like, "Yep, it's done."
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
and I think it could. It's possible that it would never be done.
Yep.
I feel like even atheists believe in God. I think that when you really push, even in the language that they use, I think everybody acts as though we talk about people, we are talking about their souls. We are talking about there's a person inside, so to speak. There's a persona.
It's not just matter. It's not just physical matter.
Right.
Because it wouldn't matter if you're putting it in a meat grinder. Like, who gives a fuck? It is.
Right. Yeah, you're just rearranging the atoms.
You're finding. Yeah, he's still there. Yeah. We rearranged all these Dominican people's atoms. Don't worry. They're still made of star stuff, guys.
Well, and even just the language about design. How could you explain the function of DNA without the language of design? You say the DNA is the blueprint. Well, who's writing the blueprint? That spontaneously came together. And I mean, then you get into things like evolution. It's like, I have a buddy who's a super creationist Catholic. And he likes to say, atheists believe we came from rocks. Rocks turn into people, which is literally true. They say that rocks turn into the primordial stew, which turned into, part of a cell, into a fish, a lizard, a dinosaur, a monkey, a person.
Well, here's the thing. I'm willing to go there, though. The question there is, if you believe in evolution, is it still doesn't get rid of the question, which is like this process that happens. Even if it just happens, I don't have the language to explain how mystifying this is, but it's like a person who seeks to explain everything physically through evolution, and there's no God. There's this like black hole that's like, why? You don't solve the problem by believing in evolution, like the problem that you're trying to solve, which is the grand mystery of existence. You don't solve it by saying that it turns into this. It could hypothetically be completely real that's the case. It doesn't answer your question, though, the reason you started looking into it in the first place. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
I think it only works backwards like that. Only looking backwards could that make sense.